Hi Ealing, my name is Dickon Leving, the author of A Month in the Life of Jackson Grimes. I was scheduled to come later on in the year and give you an author's talk at Ealing Central Library, but like everything else on the planet, that's been put on hold. So, in the meantime, this is my film about what I've been doing during this period of splendid isolation. So, here we go, and I hope, like me, you're all missing your... Yeah, I've forgotten what that says. I suppose asking a writer what he's doing during a period of isolation is a bit like asking a writer what he's doing during any period. Hopefully mostly writing. And to be honest with you, if I don't come out of the other side of this with at least the bones of a novel, then I should be most disappointed in myself. So on that note, let's head back inside and I'll show you where I've been working instead of the library at the moment. There we are, back inside, just before the rain. So under normal circumstances, I live in a narrowboat on the Grand Union and Regent's Canal, floating my way and scribbling my way around the inland waterways in the London area, which is why I mostly work out of libraries, such as Ealing Library and particularly Southall Library, actually. Anyway, just before the lockdown, I managed to escape London and came to the island of Alderney, where my mother lives, where I have set up shop here. And this is my little desk, which is a lot like the desk on my boat, only this one I can actually get power, so I can work here. This is the book I'm currently working on. I don't know if you can make that out. There we go. You'll see that I tend to use Final Draft, because even though this is a novel, Final Draft has this wonderful feature called the beat board, which is what all those little squares are. And basically they're like index cards that you can shuffle around and get your critical path in order, and get on with telling your story. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. It's another satire, I think, I hope. I'll let you be the judge of that when it comes out. Okay, I've been catching up on a bit of reading while I'm here. Most notably, I think, I've been reading Jeff Dyer's book, Out of Sheer Rage, which is about him trying to write a biography about D.H. Lawrence, and it's essentially about his procrastination, which he went through, which is fascinating and hilarious, and I highly recommend it. It's also relevant for another reason, which is that I took it out of the library just before the lockdown, so I have no idea how I'm going to get it back or when I'm going to get it back. But don't worry, because I didn't take it out of Ealing Library, I took it out of Hounslow Library. So we'll just keep that between ourselves, shall we? Don't tell them. Okay. Right. Now I'm going to show you my book, which is, I suppose, what this is all about. And it's called A Month in the Life of Jackson Grimes, which is a contemporary satire about this larger-than-life bombastic character called Jackson Grimes, who moves into Claridge's hotel on a self-destructive binge, and then meets a woman at the moment. She has a catastrophic accident, which bizarrely brings them both together. So perhaps I'll read you a bit of that later on. Okay. So this is the book, the novel, A Month in the Life of Jackson Grimes. And as I say, it's a contemporary satire about this bombastic, gregarious man-child, bit of a narcissist, who checks into Claridge's hotel on a self-destructive binge, and then meets this woman, Julia. At the moment, she has a catastrophic and life-changing accident, which brings them together, which is the idea that fascinated me, really, the idea of two people meeting at this terrible moment and being brought together. And essentially he comes to see a strength and a stoicism in her that he sorely lacks. And we discover that he also has these inner demons which explain to an extent, explain his behaviour. Anyway, I'm just going to read you a very short part. First of all, I shall read you the dedication, just to give you a sense of the tone of the overall book. The book is dedicated with thanks to the many reprobates and renegades, fantasists and egotists, boulevardiers and bullshitters I have encountered over the years. There's a little bit of all of you in Jackson Grimes, and an awful lot of Jackson Grimes in some of you. So that just gives you a sense of the tone. So, this is the moment that Jackson and Julia meet, which is a bit of a spoiler, but I think it's also the inciting incident of the story, so to speak. So, it's worth reading, I think. Here we go. Jackson threw another cigarette into his mouth and was about to light it when, from the corner of his eye, he caught another glimpse of the reading woman. The slight movement of a silent chuckle as she flicked over another page caught his attention. Her wry, crooked smile, half hidden under the shadow of her hat's brim, piqued his interest. Instead of sitting, he snapped the Zippo shut and returned the cigarette into the soft pack. He picked up the bottle of champagne, along with 2 flutes, which he cradled upside down by their bases. Holding his chest out and his stomach in, he swept forth. "Hello," Jackson declared, while placing the glasses onto the table, as if greeting an old friend who'd been expecting him for a casual drink. "My companion has abandoned me, along with this perfectly chilled bottle of champagne. Perhaps you might allow me to share it with you." Without waiting for a reply, he poured, while she stared at him with an unimpressed, suspicious glare, narrowly peering across the open book from below the wide brim of her hat. Jackson sat, beamed at her, raised his glass and sang, "Cheers." Finally, she closed the book, leaned back and, in a soft, clipped cadence, inquired, "Do we know each other?" "Oh no, but we should." "Really?" Her voice dropped an octave. "And why would you think that?" "Well," Jackson replied, with bright eyes and a wicked grin, "everyone should know me." He held his glass aloft with one hand while theatrically splaying the other, palm outward, as he exuberantly announced, "I'm Jackson Grimes." She stared back at him and, for a moment, maintained a reserved, guarded facade. Then her eyes softened as she regarded Jackson with a squint of amused curiosity. She removed her hat, revealing a high, finely lined forehead. "Julia," she imparted, as she leaned forward and reached for the champagne, when the violin crashed into her face, splintering into countless jagged shards of bloodied wood and twisted wire. And that is where it all begins. Thank you very much, Ealing. I hope you're all staying safe during this period of isolation. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side of this thing. Bye for now.